Hey everyone, my name is Chrome and I'm a van dweller, a gypsy, a nomad, a dirtbag. Today I thought I would show you the place that I call home, the place that I use as my office, and my all-around business. So I'm a digital nomad, meaning that I earn my living on the internet by producing YouTube videos right here for you guys. So today, let's go take a closer look at the place I call home. My home was manufactured in 2004. This is a Ford E250 extended version. And just a little tip to you guys, if you're gonna be buying a cargo van to live in and you can find them in the extended version, I would buy the extended one over the regular version because they're usually priced at the same price and giving you more square footage for your dollar. Let's dive into this, starting with the exterior of the van. When I very first bought my van, it had 165,000 kilometers on it and a substantial amount of visible rust. More rust than I thought I did have because they had masked it all up. They had done some Bondo work themselves. Well, after the first year of being in my van, all that Bondo work that they hid from me at the beginning, that I didn't see, all started to come out. So these back quarter panels on both sides of the van are brand new. I did them last year. I did them at a little body shop in Lillooet, BC called Lillooet Auto Body. Great guy. And they actually just cut it right out and welded a whole new panel on it. So don't let a little bit of rust on a vehicle discourage you from buying it, especially if you're gonna get it at a damn good price and it gets you started in this lifestyle. I don't regret any decision I've ever made on my van. So the exterior of my van has no windows except for the back doors. So I am glad I don't have windows in the side of my van. I know some people really enjoy the windows. I myself like the whole privacy side of it. And my back windows have been fully blacked out. Not only did I tint them, there is also insulation on the inside of the window. So right here, that black piece you see is actually pink foam board. You can see a little closer on this side where it's been banged and hit on, making it a full 100% blackout. Like you can't see in, nor can you see out. And I really like to have that kind of all blackout privacy inside because I know that I can leave all of my lights on and do whatever I want and nobody can see that there's somebody inside of the van when I'm parked in the city. A big suggestion to all of you, when it comes to finding the right cargo van to convert, I would choose ones with the barn doors on the side and not the sliding door. As much as the sliding door looks a little cleaner on the outside, it's less functional to live in. Because if you can take a look at my doors, I have made functional use of extra storage space and places to put things. You can't do that if you have the sliding door. You literally take a major wall section of your van and render it useless. So let's go take a look at my side door storage. I tried to keep my side doors as presentable and pretty as I can because this is like the entranceway before you get to see the amazing van build that I have inside of my van. So out here, we've done a fake wood. It's just a little piece of, I don't know what you want to call it, MDF. And then it's got just a print on the front of it. I got this at Lowe's. I also did the walls inside of my van in the same thing. And yeah, we just stuck on some little quote things and some pictures. I got those at the dollar store. A subscriber gave me that. I love that. On the door here is where I mounted my paper towel. And here, what this clip is for is to keep this paper towel from unraveling in the wind. So we just stick a little clip on it and it works just great. And I have some extra ones here just in case, just in case I lose that one. The handles on my door here, they're rusted. I love that whole rusted patina look, if that's what you want to call it. The reason why I didn't put a lacquer finish on this one is because I wanted it to look like that, you know, because some people said you should have painted it, it won't rust. I don't know, for me, I think that just gives it that bit more lived in and I don't know, whatever look, I like it. So on the door here, those are 2 garbage cans. These garbage cans are only available in Canada. I've had a lot of people on my channel ask me about these. They're from a company called Glad. and these are called roommate garbage cans. So they're just mounted to the door. These are meant for like under your sink. So one of them is a garbage can, as you can tell. All my extra bags are kept in the bottom. And this other one I put on here is primarily storage. So we've got dog leashes and some cleaning supplies for Breeze, because as a dirty van dweller, we stink. But yeah, it keeps it nice, simple, easy, and clean. So the cable you guys are seeing here, this is just a bungee cord. I leave one on each door. It clips on here. Hi, CRUZ. How you doing, buddy? And the other one is just latched right behind the fender here. The reason why that's there is to keep these from shutting all the time when I'm sitting here. I'm on a slight bit of an angle right now. This other door also has another one of those metal bars. These are amazing to like pull the door closed. And my skateboard, which I don't ever ride, it's kind of more used now as a place to hang my towels. I like it there, it just looks good. And those down there, my friends, those are my pee bottles. Yep, gross, but they are. So those are bike racks or bike bottle holders. And yeah, I slide those in there. I got two because sometimes you fill up one. During the second year of my van life, I noticed that I was going on back roads more often and hitting the trails. And because my van is the extended version and these Ford ones have a giant long rear on them, where the Chevys don't. The Chevys just have a longer wheelbase and a shorter back end. Well, the Fords, they just have this huge area back here. So my van recently went into a place in Abbotsford called CustomSuspensions.com, and we got a 2.5-inch lift on the front and a 3-inch lift on the back. So let me go show you what we did. On the front there, you can see that we've got some nice big sturdy coils and a brand new shock in there. These are custom coils, because the Ford vans, you can only raise up about 2.5 inches before your lift starts to screw up your factory suspension. So yeah, these were custom done at a place in Abbotsford, other known as Carrier Spring. Sorry for all the mud back here, guys. We've been in the back country for a bit. So we put 2 extra new leafs in the back, plus a 1-inch lifting block in the bottom, giving this thing 3 extra inches of clearance in the back, which is where my biggest problem was for clearance, because on the Ford vans, this just has all that extra acreage back there, which hinders me when I'm going uphill. So having the 3 inches in the back, the brand new shocks all the way around, a sturdier spring in the front, just gives this thing a full-blown, just tougher feel. On the roof of my home, I have a Max Air fan, and the reason why I chose this one is because of the cover that's on the top. I mean, a fan's a fan. As long as the blade turns, you're getting air, right? Well, the reason why I like this one is because I can leave it open at all times. It never lets rain in, it never lets snow in, nothing. Yes, I drive with it open. I'm in windstorms with it open. There's only been the occasional time, I could probably count on less than one hand in the last year and a half how many times I've shut that thing. It's just great peace of mind to keep it open at all times. You know, the breeze on a windy day feels great, and just knowing that you have fresh air coming in and out while the heater is running, just, it makes you feel good. Up here on the back side of my awning, I have these amazing Rhino roof racks. You'll notice in the back, I do have a different brand. Those ones will be changed soon, as those are metal and they rusted the second they went on there. See, where the Rhino racks are aluminum and also a very heavy duty plastic, making them ideal for your van, because the last thing you want is anything that can rust, because when rust drips on your roof from the rusty rack in the back, that rust can cause rust holes in the roof of your home, and that is one thing you don't want. So this here is one of the newest additions to my van. A friend of mine gave it to me, and I am so, it's amazing. So adding a roof rack to your van is actually pretty affordable. So this is a Rhino Rack Sunseeker 2. It's 2.5 meters long, but it's amazing for extending your living space. So if you need some shade on a sunny day, you can put it out. What I am excited for is I can put this out when the temperature is okay outside, but it's raining, but I still want to leave my doors open to get a breeze inside. So the reason why I don't leave my doors open on rainy days is because, well, they get all wet. Now I can leave the awning open and extend my roof space, giving me a whole lot of extra living space right out here. Awesome. All right, we're gonna go to the back. That's where my solar is back there. These could use a really good wipe down. Back here, I have 300 watts of Renogy solar. So there's 3 100-watt panels mounted up here, and we will go through all of my solar electronics once we get down into the inside of the van. A suggestion to you guys though, they make these in black. So if you have a vehicle with more dark things, like I have a black roof racks, and then I'm going to be extending those Rhino racks back here as well too. It would be nice to see these things in black. I could paint them, but just so you guys know, when you look them up on Renogy's website, they do make them in all black and they look so good. Travel companion, his name is CRUZ. He's been out here bathing in the sun all morning. So let's dive into the inside of the van. This is the part I know all of you have been waiting for. My van from front to back has been professionally converted by a company in Ontario, Canada called Happy Camper Kits. There's just so much in here to talk about. I don't even know where to begin. So let's start with my stovetop. So this is a Coleman Triton stove. The only reason why I chose this one is because it was black and it looked good. No other reason at all. So it's just a standard 2-burner stove. I light it with a little barbecue lighter and it works. My Bluetooth speaker here, it's got rubber on the bottom, so it just kind of sits there. It never falls off, not even on back roads. Pretty impressive. My burner runs on a 1-pound bottle. So this hose goes through the countertop, through the back of it, and there's a 1-pound bottle right down there on the step to my van. It's simple, easy to change, and it works. So the top side here has a compartment. So when you open this up, you'll see my hose for my 1-pound propane tank. And this has just got like toiletries and other little things like that in the top here. It's a great spot and it works just to have quick, easy access for stuff. All of my cabinets have little push button locks. You can buy these locks on Amazon, or you can buy them from a proper hardware store like we did. The Amazon ones, I guess, fail quite a bit. These have lasted me, I don't know, about 6-7 months so far, and they've been really great. All these drawers on the cabinets are all dovetailed, because anything from Happy Camper Kits, there was no corners cut. So amazing. These things are rock solid and sturdy, and they even have soft close. Bam, and you're done. Pretty straightforward and easy. The only thing you've got to remember with these things is make sure that they are all shut before you start driving, because if you don't click that locked, you're going to hit a corner and these drawers are going to come sliding way out. So we have some taller drawers on the bottom, which I use for primarily like kitchen stuff, like pots, pans. These are great. Inside of this cabinet here, let me move my vacuum. I have a vacuum. That's the charger for it. Behind this cabinet here is 2 shelves. There's one deep cycle battery in there, and then I have a secondary shelf that's open, waiting for a second battery at some point. But they're nicely housed back here. It's open on the side there, so there's lots of ventilation. And down there is my 700 watt Renogy inverter. The switch panels that I use, all these will be in the description of the video. They're amazing, they're straightforward, and they're simple, and it also gives me a voltage readout. So right now, being at 14.5, I am getting some solar input as well. So this normally gets stuck down there when I'm not using it, but today, because I'm charging it, it gets hung neatly right there. When I was talking with Happy Camper Kits and planning out my van build, making sure my space was hyper functional, a few key things that I needed are: one, a tall space to store taller items like maple syrup. Trust me guys, you don't want maple syrup to break inside your van or to fall down and leak all over your cabinets. Yep, I experienced that. So having a space like this up here is really great. So all I keep up here is my salt, my peppers, and anything taller in this top shelf. Another thing that I keenly needed in my van was a place to store some Converse shoes. And it works out great. I stuffed them in there. They're pretty tight, so they don't really come out. Sometimes on the odd road, if I'm like really banging the van around, these will pop out. But I love having a place to store my shoes right out there where I can see them, because this guy loves his Converse shoes. And the next thing that I needed, and the most important thing in my entire van build, is my desk. So it's tucked away right here. You pull it out, and that is my desk. So Happy Camper Kits grinded a little piece out of here so I can have a place to put my cell phone, and also another little spot here that I can stick my Starbucks or Tim Hortons coffee in the morning so it doesn't spill anywhere. How my desk works is pretty straightforward. So the desk goes in here and pops down. Easy as that. Then I can set up anything that I need, whether I'm eating some food or eating a meal or editing a video. I have this perfect office space here. Let me give you guys a little bit of a better look at this. Yeah, that's it. So now I have a little place, and it's pretty awesome because when I'm parked at a beach somewhere and someone walks by my van and I'm in here editing a video and they just see this whole thing going on here, people are like, whoa, your van is so cool. So what he did here is he just notched around here, and this just sits on the top drawer of this cabinet and tucked in there a little bit. And on this side, there's just a little board sticking out of this cabinet that this just sits down on top of. And what I did up here is I have some extra lighting right around my desk area, and all my desk lights are on a light switch right here. So anytime I need them, I've got them. I've also got a night light over here, so if I just need light at night, I got one right beside my head there for, I like to say reading, but I don't read books. For when I get up in the morning and I need to see things where I can't find my glasses, that's what that one's for. And here is another switch panel, just like the other one I've got in the front. When I'm done with my desk, it just slides right in here. So while it's in this location, it changes its job role from kitchen table and office desk to now my entertainment table. So I pull it out just slightly, and here is where I can stick my laptop on the top here, flip it open, kick back in bed, and stream some Netflix if I'm parked by a Wi-Fi connection. It's an amazing little entertainment center, and it slides away nice and snugly, super good. As you can tell on the front of my cabinets, they're pretty artistic and a little bit way out there. But that's the kind of person that I am. And because Happy Camper Kits cuts everything on a CNC machine, the endless opportunities you have when a robot cuts all your wood is crazy. So if you can dream it, they can build it. So I wanted something a little bit artistic and a little bit weird on the front of my cabinets, and this is what we came up with. So he has put my slogan to my YouTube channel on there, which is Weirdos Unite, and poured it with black epoxy. It looks so amazing. It's glossy. And as you can tell, we got a whole kind of bunch of craziness going on down here. And I think doing that kind of design work for someone like me, doing this kind of stuff, really just kind of puts your own personal touches on a van build that could have looked pretty plain without it. My upper cabinet here was actually built by a subscriber of ours named John on Vancouver Island, and I didn't want to change this cabinet because it's solid and sturdy. So what Happy Camper Kits did was they continued my design all over this cabinet just to kind of tie this into this over here. So the primary reason behind building this cabinet is I needed to use some upper storage space in the van, and I think utilizing space up there gets a lot of things that would have normally been in bins underneath your bed or on the floor and gets it up out of the way. So this cabinet here holds my 20-pound propane tank, which is located right inside of there. And the biggest part of this cabinet, excuse me, cover, is my water storage. So I have two 27-liter jugs of water storage, and this is also my sink. So my active jug that I use is always on the outside because when I run the water, it runs right out of my van, making this super convenient, and I can access this from the inside of my van. If I ever want to pour myself a glass of water while I'm in the van and the doors are shut, I can do that from right inside here. On the front here, you'll notice my Olympian Wave 3 heater, which is mounted on the inside here, running into the propane tank that's inside of there. I really enjoy this heater. The Olympian Wave 3 is a great heater. It's a lot drier than the Buddy heater. And right now, because I can't afford to do any of those fancy diesel heaters, this thing has been doing the job year after year, and I'm extremely happy with my purchase. My bed is a double-sized bed, so it's 4 feet by 6 feet. And yes, I can sleep crossways in my van. My bed is exactly 6 feet across, and I am 5'11", so it works out just perfectly. I have a 8-inch mattress underneath here, which is a 4-inch regular foam mattress and a 4-inch memory foam. Underneath here is just a flat piece of black plywood. I painted it black. It does have a few holes in it. I'm not convinced that putting holes in your bed frame makes a difference. If anything, it lets cold air up underneath you when you're warm inside, and I think it actually adds to the problem. So yeah, that's a bit of an unsure situation. Underneath the bed here, I have 6 storage bins, which are huge, and they're held in here by a little bungee strap that goes on a little eye hook on that side. Everything underneath my bed, a lot of it is just stuff I don't use a lot, except for the front 2 bins. One is laundry, one is the dog food. The drawers on this cabinet are nice and big. I use this one here for mostly my towels and my shower bag. It's a pretty tight fit in there today. Right up top here is an extra cubby hole for extra little things I may want to throw in there. Right now it's just a t-shirt. And here is my Renogy MPPT and DC to DC charge controller. This is an all-in-one unit, and it manages my entire solar system. So it manages the solar coming in from the roof, and it also is connected to the alternator, so it charges my deep cycle battery while I drive. And the cool part about it is when my internal battery is full, this thing will send power from here back to my starting battery if my starting battery is going low from being sitting still. So it's great. It'll make sure that both my house battery and my starter battery are charged at all times. A pretty great, simple little unit. I feel like I'm forgetting a bunch of stuff in here. My roof vent, the reason why I chose to put the roof vent right here in my kitchen is because this is where a majority of my moisture is created, and it just made sense to have it so I can suck it right out of my kitchen here. In the back there, I have a circulating fan. I'm a huge fan of this thing. It's by a company called Caframo. This is the Sirocco 2 Elite. It's a bit pricey, but I really like it because you can adjust this thing any angle you could ever dream of. It's pretty amazing. I usually leave it on me at night, like directly at me, but sometimes I will tip it towards my feet. It's a great little fan. The privacy curtain I have in the front is 2 layers thick. So I have 2 separate little blackout curtains on here, and having it doubled actually makes a huge difference on a winter's day, keeping the heat in the back and keeping the cold up front. So in the winter time, when my heater's on and I get up in the morning and I open up this curtain, you could feel the cool temperature coming into the back. So it creates a great thermal divide. It was a very simple install. All it is a black shower curtain or a black curtain rod. And let me pull this out here for you. And all I did was I cut a hole in this roof liner and I stuck it in there. Pretty straightforward and simple. And that was my big sticker collection. So having this come all the way across is a full-blown blackout. And that's the cool thing about having 2 layers, is you can guarantee that at some point it's gonna black it all out. So on the bottom down here, you'll see a very nasty cut job. Yep, that's my man way of doing it. I took the excess from the bottom of this curtain and I folded it along the top to create a little valance. It's not, you're gonna laugh at me. You see how it's put in there? I literally just screwed it to the roof. Nothing fancy. So I took the cutoff piece and I folded it and created a little valance here. That way when it's shut, no light can bleed over the top of here at all. While we're on the topic of privacy, when I'm in the van at night, I always cover my side windows. So behind my seat here, I have these black pieces of cardboard. Bought it from the dollar store, cut it to the size of my window, and these just get popped in over my window at night. It's not a perfect fit, but for the most part, when you're walking by at night, you don't really notice because the glass is shiny and that's black. It kind of looks like tinted windows. I do this because my dog likes to sleep in the front seat, and the last thing I want while I'm parked at night is someone to see the puppy in the front seat. And he doesn't sleep on the passenger side, so you can't really see him when you're walking by, but it definitely works. This is the very first time on my channel I think I've ever dove this deep into my van tour. So hopefully you guys are getting a better look on how I live inside of my van. Now let's go take a look at the biggest game changer in my van, and that was having a professionally built rear garage. So before, this was probably the biggest area of frustration prior to having a professionally built, because I ended up just throwing a lot of things back there because there was extra space. Not everything I owned had a proper place for it. Well, now because of this, my van stays way cleaner because everything has a home. I just about want to say that this is my favorite space in the van, but this is my favorite functional part of the van. I love it because it is completely organized my whole life. So my doors are treated with the same wood that's on the inside of my van and also on the side doors. Here you can get a bit of a closer look. All it is just an MDF board with a printed front. Most hardware stores carry either these or a variation of these. In the back here, I chose not to do any hardware, any drawers or anything like that, or cupboard doors. All I asked Andy is, I said, look, just cut these into little cubby holes and I can stuff them full. The only downside to cubby holes is that you can visibly see whatever's on the inside. But hey, this is my garage. It's all good. It works. But you can see people like, hey, Chrome, do you have a beer? So when I say, no, I don't, they're like, you liar. I can see your beer. So back here, these drawers just pull out. You got to lift them up a little bit because of the lip that's on here. And the drawers pull out. Back here is where I keep my Jackery batteries. Yes, I do have portable batteries in my van, even though I have solar on the roof. Little batteries like this just come in handy for outside power. So if I'm ever at a picnic table and I need power. Other than that, these are just rammed full of like some shoes, some outdoor stuff, some of my awning parts. And yeah, well, van tours, you guys don't want to know all the tidbits that are inside of it. Or do you? There's enough videos on my channel that cover all the little tiny things that are in and around my van. Today, I just wanted to give you guys a better look at my van build itself. Having a pro build just makes it feel good. I feel like I live in luxury, and it's also a lot more convenient. Because before, I used to have home furnishings in my van, and having home furnishings, sure, it looked good. Sure, it got me by for under $1,000, but in the long run, having something professional is just so hyper functional. Thanks for watching, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this deeper dive into my van. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed, because we produce everyday van life content. of the travels with me and the little dirt bag. All right, you guys, take care.